Hello, everybody. My name is Vanessa. If you don't know who I am, a chance call for those that struggle. So, yes, I want to talk to you about my prayer yesterday and how God answered it. So, the other night, my son was crying, saying that he wants a friend and he needs a friend, and it broke my heart because he was crying like his heart was shattered. His heart was broken. He really needs a friend. And I take him to the park like 1 to 3 times a week, and most of the time, there is nobody there. And if there is, the kids are normally older or a lot younger. And a lot of times he'll say, the kids didn't play with me. And I have to tell him, like, they're older than you, or they're younger than you, or they're siblings. And so, yeah, my son's 4 years old, and I have a daughter that's 14. And yesterday morning, my heart was just, hurting for him because he just wants a friend. And I just, started praying to God, please send him a little boy that is 4 years old, that's like him, that he can have play dates with, that he can just be his little self. And I also prayed for, you know, maybe my husband can, connect with somebody through work that has a little boy, and where me and him can both be comfortable around whoever it is, where their child can be a good influence on ours and ours on theirs, or maybe God can send me somebody that I can connect with, that we're comfortable with being around, and that our kids can get along. And I had already talked to my husband about this a couple days ago. And so we had the discussion, but then I prayed yesterday morning. And so I started watching TV, and my son starts crying, I wish we could go to the park. So I'm like, okay, let's go. So I took him to the park, and as soon as we get there, there's this little boy, and he's just standing there staring at us as we're walking up. And my son seen him, and his eyes lit up. The little boy's eyes lit up, and they got along great. They took to each other right away, and they're playing, and they asked if they could walk around the park and go to different areas. And I said, yeah, I'll go ahead, and went to the mother, and I was like, well, I guess I'll go ahead and walk them over there if you're okay with that. And she said, yeah, she's gonna, walk with us. And so we walked them around the park and let them play. And the little boy had mentioned about going and seeing a pirate ship that's close by. And the mother said no, that they had already went. They had just went. And I told my son, you know what, we have to go that direction anyway. We have to go to the store, and then I have to go to work. But I can go ahead and take you. And so we were heading out, we were saying bye, and my son's like, well, can you go? And I spoke up, and I was like, no, they can't go, they already went. And the mom said, no, we can go. We'll go ahead and meet you guys over there. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's awesome. And so we met over there, and the kids played this little clubhouse together, and jumping around, doing different activities, playing on the pirate ship together. And I'm like literally thinking the whole time, I just prayed for this morning. And, I spoke to the woman, and I was telling her, like, I was really wanting my son to have interaction with somebody his age. And she said the same thing for her. Like, her big thing is he needs social interaction, and how she just started, he just started pre-K, and she's lucky because he's going to where she works at, so she can be there with him, and which I thought was cool because my husband had just brought that up the other day. He was like, you need a job that you can do some kind of daycare or preschool or something, because you're really good with kids and you can be there with our son. I'm like, I know, but I don't know, like, I don't have a degree or a certificate or anything like that, so I don't know how that works. And yeah, so I have looked into like daycares and stuff like that in the past, and there wasn't any openings. We are not really okay with daycares. but we just want our son to have some kind of social interactions. And I did check into a Christian private school recently, and that he might be going to next year when he turns 5 years old. And the principal told me that she'll definitely let me know if there's other 5-year-olds that's going to be enrolling next year as well. But yeah, so me and this lady were talking, and she's just telling me how her son had some kind, just a little bit of speech delay, and I was concerned about that with my son. And she said that she spoke to a speech therapist, and he's like right on par where he needs to be. And I had in the past I'd spoke to a speech therapist, and she's like, you know what, boys just go at their own pace, like he's gonna be fine. I'm like, okay. And to see like this little boy like the same as my child, like, because I wasn't really for sure, because my son can like throw little tantrums, and I'm like, my daughter, she threw tantrums, but not at 4 years old, not like this. Boys and girls are completely different, and I'm not around little 4-year-olds, so I wasn't for sure like where my son is for his level of his age and stuff. But like the little boy just started screaming and crying because he got hurt, and I'm like, he sounds just like my son. And he wanted his Band-Aid, and the mom's like, yeah, we go through a lot of Band-Aids. I'm like, yeah, we go through a lot of Band-Aids too. But it was awesome because she said that I asked her how many kids does she have, and she said that she has him, that's 4, and then she has a daughter that's 14, I'm like, just like me. But my point of all this is if God can hear your prayer and answer your prayer the same day, then he's not ignoring your big prayers. The prayers that you think that are big, the prayers that you think that like God's ignoring you, like he hears them. He literally answered my prayer the same day. Now, I did not exchange phone numbers with her. I told her like we are, me and my husband, we are saved, and we are saved Christians, in that we just like, we are protective of our son. We want to make sure like he is around good people that can influence him good and stuff like that. And she said that that's what she's concerned with, as far as her kid being in a public school. Like he was being hit and stuff like that by other kids, so you do have to be careful of who your kids are around and stuff. But the whole time I'm thinking, I really wanted to tell her, like, I just prayed for this morning, that I could connect with somebody, my husband could connect with somebody, that so our kid could have a little play date, a little friend that he can connect with, and his heart can be full of joy. But I didn't tell her, because honestly, she didn't say that she was saved. She did use the word blessing once, so I was kind of curious if she was saved, but I didn't want to scare her and be like, I just prayed for this morning and God just gave it to me, So I thought about giving her my phone number, but I didn't. So I should have took that opportunity to do that. If God presents you with an opportunity like that, then you need to take it. You need to at least, step out on a limb a little bit more. And I am praying that God, will present the opportunity again, either from her and that little boy or through somebody else. But if God can answer the small prayers, if he can hear your small prayers the same day, then he's hearing the big ones. The ones that you think that are big, that are actually nothing to God, because nothing's impossible for God. He can do anything. And so, yeah, like, it was such a blessing. My heart was so blessed for just to see God answer a small prayer like that, and for my son to experience it. And that little boy, they sat down on this little bench, and they're sitting there talking to one another, and they're watching this train go by. And it was just so sweet. It's something that he's really, really wanted. And yeah, if God gives you an opportunity, if he presents that opportunity, take it while it's there. And nothing's too big for God. He hears those big prayers that you think that won't happen because maybe you're not deserving of it. Maybe your mindset's not there to the capacity of what you're praying for. But he hears them, and if it's in his will, in due season, it will come. In due season, it will come. Surrender your life to Christ. Love him with all your heart. Love your neighbors with all your heart. Do the best that you can. Give him time, wait in silence prayer to listen to him, and look at your surroundings. See what he's actually doing for your life. Like, I'm sure there's so many times, like, we just have blessings all around us. And you just have to open up your eyes and see, what is God presenting in front of you? What is there? I love y'all. I hope this is a blessing. I'll talk to you all later.